So we got some new heater hoses over here to get on the car. Because the ones on it are probably the original ones. We'll get down to those in a minute. But also got a new heater valve. Because the one in there doesn't seem like it's working. I tested it. It gets vacuum to it whenever you put the temperature slider in the car on cold, but it still blows heat. So maybe blender's being funny too, but it seems like this thing's still letting hot water get through the heater core. So we're going to go ahead and get this stuff swapped out and see how that goes into, if they're old, don't want them bursting and letting coolant everywhere. So we'll get the air box off and get down to everything. Alright, so we can see down here now, there's the heater valve there, and see if I can get the camera in there because I can't actually see down there. Heater hose runs there, and onto the heater box. It looks like getting into those clamps is going to be fun. And prepare for a geyser. Or not. Was expecting more water there. Here's the bottom one, it's only disconnected. Let's see the other one wraps around here, and it connects. That hard lining is rubber on that side, and metal on this side is right under that vacuum diaphragm. So this is the return hose down here. And it's the one that's on top. On the heater core, so it'll be the one we get off first. Get that. Okay, so we said screw it and cut it. Still wasn't much water in there, or coolant in there. That pipe's a little corroded, but it, Alright, so looking in there, it looks like, you can kind of see the heads of the screw on the clamps there, facing this way, so thinking maybe you can get a box wrench on them to loosen them. So I worked a little bit more slack in those vacuum lines to get them up out of the way. And I basically went after the hex end of that worm drive clamp with the wrench and got it loose. And now I'll just about have it worked all the way off. Pushing on these vacuum lines because I really don't want it to disconnect and then have to rip stuff apart to reconnect it. Aha! We got the clamp. I figured it might be good to do a quick sanity check here on these this heater valve if I put it in, so you can see there, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. If I work the thing, get some vacuum on it now. See, we're closed up. Because it seemed like on the car it might not have been working right because it was getting heat all the time, but let's see, so. So it does in fact work when you, well, say that it won't hold much more than 20 inches of vacuum, or sorry, 15 inches of vacuum. It just drops off. But I think right now, while we get them out of the way, That would be a good time to remove some of that nature gack from down there, from it sitting under a tree, I guess. Let's see if we can't get the shop vac and get some of that cleaned up. I think we'll call that degacked for now. Alright, so we got the one hose on, but I'm leaving the clamp loose for a second until get everything situated down there, because the way it's molded it'll probably rotate a little bit. Go there. That's on there. Try to keep the vacuum line out of the way. Let's this slugged up. Alright. Hose there. There. So that guy's out of the way. We'll get vacuum hose back on. So the feed line is all good to go. See if get that fished up through there. But anyway, so we got supply line coming through a new heater valve and the return line coming back, and it is all reconnected down there. So now I just need to put the vacuum valve that's sitting under there back in place. And there is just enough room in there to, get a bit driver on there for that one. Alright, so the heater hoses are now all back on. Got them connected to the core and tightened. Got it run up along there. Got it back in the little carrier on the back of the fuel cooler here. We got everything put back together now. Alright, so the car's up to temp now. And we've got the heater on full blast. It's definitely working. So we're getting water through the heater core. So now the question is, if we switch it to cold, will it actually start to get closer to ambient, which is about 80 degrees. Alright, so I let it go for a few minutes with it on cool. It doesn't really seem like it cooled off a whole lot with just air blowing through. Maybe 10 or 15 degrees it dropped. Actually, it dropped to about 100, so it dropped to about 20 degrees. The AC compressor and condenser have some O-rings leaking. You can see oil coming out of them, so I hadn't been running it. When I turned it on, it kicks on, and it lowers the temperature 10 degrees below ambient, so the AC's working a little bit.